All right. Before now, we've looked at the definition of public speaking, what information you need to be given when you're public speaking, and those things you need to put into focus. And I said that you are actually at the center of it all. Your message and you and your audience and your medium, they are all, around you. So we're going to move on now to the psychological preparation that you need to consider when you are preparing for a public speaking engagement. Now, the first thing we want to consider is what we all have suffered, and I think is the most common problems that we all encounter when it comes to public speaking, and that is anxiety. Everybody is anxious to public speak. And you know what? A great public speaker once told me that butterflies in your stomach, they're a good thing. A little bit of anxiety is a good sign. It's a sign that you know there is a task ahead, that you know the task of appealing to people's heart and people's mind is quite challenging, and that you need to be, prepared for it, so it's a good sign. But oftentimes people think that being nervous is actually a bad thing. Being too nervous may be bad, but having a bit of butterflies in your stomach is actually a good thing. So how do you deal with nervousness? And that is where psychology comes into play. You need to come to a state of self-acceptance. People will not listen to you except you kind of accept yourself. Earlier we have looked at you being on top of what you want to talk about. You've mastered your topic. So you're very confident in that department. So next thing is now to master your psychology. You need to realize that anxiety is a good sign that you just need to manage. You need to come to terms with you. Come to a state of an acceptance of you and what you can deliver. So you need to self-talk yourself. I can do this. I can actually do this. I can actually express myself. I can actually sustain the interest of my audience. I can actually leverage on what I know in order to be able to pass this information across. So the first thing you need to do is relax. Tell yourself right now, relax. Just relax. It's not as bad as you think, actually. Everybody gets anxious. Trust me, there are some horrible audience. But you're going to master them. And the first step to mastering them is just relax. There are so many relaxation techniques that you can employ. Taking quick deep breaths. Just relax and take deep breaths. Some people stretch, they stretch and, take brisk walk, up and down, and, they walk, down maybe the backstage and take deep breaths in order to, to just relax. And one thing that is going to help you relax is your audience is actually forgiving of you. They are actually very open to human mistakes and errors. Yes, they expect a lot, but once you're relaxed and you're very natural, they will definitely flow along with you. You also need to practice. One way to also help yourself psychologically is to practice. You need to practice a lot. And there is nothing like too much practice. You need to look in the mirror and practice. Talk in the mirror and practice. I tell my students from time to time, you need to record and listen to yourself speak. It's quite important. A major challenge that I had when I started public speaking is the rate of my speech. I'm a natural fast talker. And I remembered when I was an undergraduate in the university, I went for an audition at a radio station, and I was given a news item, to cast, and it was recorded. After I had done it, they brought me in to listen to the recording, and I argued that couldn't have been me. That's not me. I listened to myself, and I didn't believe that was me. Even I couldn't make out any sense of what I was saying. It was too fast. So the first thing I had to learn was, I need to slow down. And that's how you're going to identify your problems when you practice. Especially when you stand in front of the mirror or you take a recording of yourself and practice yourself delivering your speech. It's a very important aspect that you need to do from time to time. And there is nothing like overdoing it. You always have to practice your speech so that you become, your delivery becomes, very free-flowing, and you can identify the problems that you might have. Don't forget, in the definition I told you earlier, we talked about public speaking oral delivery as corresponding actions. So your non-verbal cues, you need to work on them. When you give a speech, practicing and recording yourself, you look at yourself and be able to correct yourself. Am I using too much of memory fillers? Am I a bit fidgeting? Am I a bit fidgety, is the way I'm standing, does it show that I have confidence in myself and in my topic? How do I appear to myself? You can actually give it to a second eye to look at you and critique it. And then you'll be amazed that if you begin to work on the problems that you can identify, you will have built up a lot of confidence, because you know that I'm better. I've seen myself do this and I think it's fantastic, and so you definitely will think it's fantastic. So you cannot underestimate the aspect of practice. Is that okay? Now, so when you're practicing your speech in itself. You're practicing to look out for non-verbal cues in order to be able to fine-tune it if there's anything out of place. You're also trying to work on your voice. Am I speaking too slowly, too fast? Is it too loud? Is it too low? You want to work around all those things, because your first problem is, if your audience cannot hear you, you are in trouble. It's going to affect your psyche. It's going to throw you off balance. It's going to kill your self-confidence, because as soon as they can't hear you, they start talking. You don't have control over that. If I sit as an audience and I can't hear the speaker, automatically I'm going to do something else. And if I have a friend by me, trust me, I'm going to chit-chat. And don't forget that our audience, even though the etiquette of being an audience means they have to listen to you and be, prim and proper and at least show solidarity, not every audience is going to go by that rule, especially when you're talking to younger people. You're talking to a group of undergraduates, for instance. They're going to chit-chat, they're going to talk. As soon as they lose you, they can't hear you anymore, then there's going to be a problem. And once you realize that they're talking around the hall, you're going to lose a lot of confidence, and it's going to just throw you completely off balance. Is that okay? So you want to try as much as possible to put all those things into consideration when you practice. You can never, ever go wrong when it comes to practice. Another thing you want to watch that's going to help your psychological preparation for public speaking is how are you saying what you're saying? We all know that it is never what you say, it is how it is said. There is nothing you want to say that has not been said before. Trust me, there are tons and tons of public speakers online who tutor about public speaking. It's been said before. It's been said before. You just think about the topic. It's been said before. Sometimes even by fantastic, well-groomed public speakers. It's been said before. But the important thing is not really what you're saying. It is how are you saying it? How are you bringing it to the table that is new? How are you, communicating with your audience so that they're not losing you? It's like they've not heard it before. There's a new dimension, even if it's just your delivery that is new. They want to listen to it. And so you want to emphasize on two aspects. One is expression. Now, expression is how you say what is in your mind, how you communicate what is in your mind, and it's very, very important. And you cannot stay in the corner of your room and just, practice expression for the sake of expression. You need to put a lot of factors into place. What is the topic? Who am I giving this message to? How do I feel that this set of people will listen and attach themselves to the information that I want to pass across? So it's very, very important that you become a master of your own expression. Now, somebody may ask me, Dr. Robin, what is that? Master my expression? What does that even mean? How do I master my expression? Everybody has a speech peculiarity. Everybody. Yeah, in linguistic studies, we call it an idiolect. everybody has a stamp on how they speak and how they express themselves, starting from our voices to our vocabulary to our mannerisms and everything that comes into play when we talk. You need to hold your expression. You need to listen to yourself and ask yourself, am I communicating? Do people even understand what I'm saying in the first place? Okay, let me say something jocularly without wanting to embarrass anybody or sound nasty. But just because this is a public speaking class, I should cite examples that you can learn from. Some years back, I listened to a public speaker talk about being a fantastic public speaker. And I kept wondering, what is this man talking about? What are you even saying? And just when I felt, let me just not be nasty here, I went down to the comment section and somebody wrote in the comment section, first you need to tell me, how do two people listen to you? He wasn't communicating. Everything was just off. And I wonder, why do people listen to him in the first place? So trust me, your expression is key. You have to be able to say how your audience will get it. You have to put everything into consideration because you're not only appealing to their minds, but to their minds. Now that takes me to the other one, which is impression. When we meet people, oftentimes what we take away is the impression they make upon us. Sometimes this is not what they have said. It is how they have said it that has made a lasting impression that we can take away. Now, motivational speakers play on this a lot. How can they make a lasting impression? So when you're preparing for a public speaking, you need to ask yourself, what do I want to say? How do I express what I want to say? And how do I make a lasting impression such that they go away remembering something, one thing? You know, they say that truth does not become a part of you until you've listened to it 7 times. That fact I have found true oftentimes. But trust me, an impression just sticks to you right from immediately, right from the first time. You never forget the impression. And that's what makes the difference between a fantastic mathematics teacher and a boring mathematics teacher. The expression and the impression. So once you have been able to work on your power of expression and put at the back of your mind that while you're expressing, you also need to make an impression, trust me, you're going to have a lot more confidence in you as a person, in your topic, and that aura of confidence is going to help you to be more equipped when you do eventually present your speech. I hope we're making sense here. Now lastly, I want to talk about the impression and things you need to note. Now the impression must appeal to all the sense organs, the sense of touch, the sense of sight, the sense of hearing. They have to hear you. You have to give them a fantastic, a fantastic impression about what they are hearing, how they are hearing it, and a fantastic impression about what they are seeing. And we're going to go into that in detail when we look at the final aspect, which is the physical aspect of the preparation for public speaking. They have to, you have to be a total experience. I think that's the best way to put it. You have to be a total experience before you can sustain the interest of people. And once you're able to be a total experience, trust me, you'll be able to appeal both to their thinking, to their emotions, and that will help you to sustain your audience and help you to be better psychologically prepared. So next, we're going to look at the physical preparations that you need to have for fantastic public speaking.